Welcome back to the Fate of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running our game as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Sebastian Crow, the half-elf shadow sorcerer. And we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis playing Veo Senya, the Tabaxi Gloomstalker Ranger Rogue.
And Joe O'Gorman playing Pluto Jackson, the Human Battlemaster.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. We're the Dungeon Dudes, and Kelly and I post new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays on our YouTube channel where we cover everything D&D, so be sure to check us out.
You can also join us on Tuesday evenings when we broadcast the campaign on Twitch. You can check us out from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. You can also watch the video episodes of the show on YouTube or check us out as an audio-only podcast.
And I would like to begin this episode by sharing something very special. It was 5 years ago that we broadcast the first episode of Dungeons of Drakkenheim.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
This is a long campaign.
This is a long campaign. But could you imagine that 5 years later, we would be still playing this campaign with the same characters, which is fantastic. Thank you to everyone who has been here since the very beginning. But 2 books later, 3 campaigns, 6 characters, all the things and all that in the future. What a road in just 5 years.
Yeah. And when we started, we thought these characters were just going to be like 2 or 3 weeks. And they'd be done, and we'd never talk about them again, and nobody would care.
One of the things my partner loves to bring up is that you told me it was just going to be 12 episodes when you started.
Quick campaign, 12 episodes, in and out.
And we're done.
5 years later.
Yeah, here we are. So a big thank you to Jill and Joe for being with us through this. Big thank you to you, Kelly, for this. Thank you to everyone who has watched the show, backed the Kickstarter project, become one of our patrons, liked any of our videos. No matter how you've engaged with what we do on the channel, whether you are on our patron-only Discord server every day, whether you are running your own Drakkenheim campaigns, or whether you just tune in occasionally to watch one of our videos, a big thank you to all of you out there as well. This has been a wild journey, and we are so happy to have shared it with such amazing people.
And thank you, Monty, for bringing this story to life for all of us, for all the people out there. But being a player at your table has always been one of the great highlights of my life. And it's an absolute pleasure to get tortured and murdered by you.
I think it is an insane privilege to be able to play such a fun game with such fantastic people. And it is invariably, I think one of the most magical things about this is that I can be having a bad day or a bad week or a bad weekend or whatever. I can be anxious and stressed about the game, but it always feels great to actually sit down and roll some dice with good friends. So thank you all.
Thank you.
And big thank you to Kyle.
Yes.
I know he can't be here today, but he's done such amazing work over the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. He's been with us since the beginning. And yeah, we're so lucky to have him.
And he's even been a character on the show now.
And he's really helped shape. He's so much a part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with that, let us return to Drakkenheim.
Drakkenheim is no more. The devastation which fell upon that accursed place left a kingdom in ruin. Now, horrors lurking in the haze grow ever more great and terrible, while simmering tensions between rival factions boil over into outright war. The power of monarchs, mages, and priests hangs in the balance. 6 unlikely heroes join forces to confront the coming chaos. They shall decide, once and for all, the fate of Drakkenheim.
When last we left our heroes, they were in the midst of the resurrection of Sebastian Crow. You stand in the shrine of Morgan, the ancient stones glowing with blood-red light, as the vital fluids flow between the dragon and the corpse of Sebastian Crow. His body rises in the air, the wrappings slowly disintegrating around his body as the fluids from the dragon, the draconic blood, infuses his form. And you see in these moments the transition of his flesh decay and restore, mirrored with that of the dragon's body at the same time, almost becoming an emaciated skeleton before the vitality of life is thrown back into its form. And in the midst of this, we will take a moment to flash back to several weeks ago to visit Sebastian in the Shadowlands. When last we left our heroes, Sebastian had journeyed through the Shadowlands to claim the soul of Oscar Yoren, as he who laughs last cackled on observing the whole rite. Now journeying through a dark tunnel revealed by the crumbling statue of the Demon Lord, Sebastian Crow has arrived in Emberwood Village to see a version of his own home. Well, never really your home, a version of Eventide Manor, where here you watch as young Sebastian and Lenneth Eventide return home for the summer. As you watch the family come into the home, you see the young Sebastian regaling Tobias Crow of all of his latest times at the semester, telling Tobias about his friend River and Kat and how much fun he's having and the antics that he got up to with Eldrick Runeweaver. And as they take dinner together, Sebastian studiously returns upstairs to his room, pondering over his spellbook before he goes to bed for the evening. And as the scene shifts, you see time begin to move faster, played out through these scenes. Sebastian sees a version of his own life, the way things could have been had they gone differently. Had Lenneth Eventide not died bringing you into this world, but instead had your lives continued without that. Is there anything Sebastian would like to see?
I mean, in this particular location, I suppose it would be hard to see what my time at school looked like. But I would like to know, like, I never really got the chance to see Tobias and Lenneth together. Nor what my mother's life looked like. So I think that Sebastian actually focuses more on his parents and their relationship and his mom and her sort of demeanor. Watching as time speeds up, is he able to, like, when she's alone, or like, I think he would want to get a read because he's still trying to understand who his mother is, her intentions, her personality. He believes the things that she's saying, but through this, he spies a chance to observe a possible version of Lenneth Eventide and gather what he can from those snippets to piece together a personality of who Lenneth Eventide is, what she cared about, what mattered to her, and was she a kind and caring and loving person?
What you're able to observe is the swirling life that surrounds Eventide Manor as you are here. For what you see over the passage of the years is the young Sebastian attending the Amethyst Academy as a student at the age of 6. Nearly a decade before you actually attended the school. And you see over the course of those years, you watch as your mother and father, when you are home, what you're able to gather is it seems like your mother's position in the academy affords your family a certain degree of privilege, a certain level of isolation that many academy students would not have had from their families is instead not the case for the young Sebastian. Instead, in this version, Sebastian attends the school. It's like going off to boarding school for the year and then spends the summers home with his family, where even over the course of the entire summer, your mother does not let you break away from your studies, but instead finds opportunities to foster creativity and young brilliance. And as the time advances, you are surprised to see the skill at magic that you develop at a young age, supported by 2 loving parents.
So, something else comes to my mind then. Obviously, not being able to see what's happening at school, but seeing the fast track of the summers. I imagine things would have gone differently in this version with me trying to impress Kat. So
there are snippets of those tales, but one of the things that you also realize in piecing this together is that you did not meet Cat and Mouse or River until you were 15. But in this version of events, they're your childhood friends. And so the relationship that you had with them is one that started much sooner and younger. And there's a few instances where they do come to the home and there are conversations and a much earlier friendship blossoms with all of them involved. And in fact, what you come to realize is that the young Sebastian Crow actually knows that Kat is Katerina von Kessel from this process of growing up. Not only this, you can see as your father's ambitions grow from just a simple blacksmith trying to support his family, and he becomes a wealthy sort of industrialist, as it were, running several workshops in Drakkenheim with Emberwood Village, and he never opens the blacksmith shop in Emberwood Village, for he's far too busy with what he does in the city. It's a different life for him because he spends a great deal of the year alone. But Lenneth Eventide takes back her post as the Archmage of Drakkenheim. And so for a great deal of the year, Sebastian is off at school in Paradox Castle, while Tobias and Lenneth are able to have their lives here. There is a shade of perhaps another sibling, but you're only able to catch impressions of siblings who never were in this alternate life. And as things continue, around the events that you observe in Eventide Manor, eventually a day comes that you know very well It's the day that you went to Drakkenheim in your own life and had that nightmare where you imagined the meteor coming. But in this life, that day passes unnoticed. Instead, on that time, a very excited Tobias Crow is thrilled because his son and Lenneth have come, because now Sebastian is spending this year at the Inscrutable Tower instead, where he will be studying and perhaps even taking an early position. For advancing so quickly through his studies, he has become a very capable mage at a young age. And then that day arrives, and you realize that on that day, in this life, you and Lenneth were both in the tower. And you watch as that realization comes over your father's face, as the panic sets in, as he tries to figure out what has happened. That perfect life that they lived, destroyed in an instant.
I feel like for most of this, Sebastian was watching with a sort of jealous intrigue of a thought starting to swirl in his head of, again, the self-doubt, the mistakes, he himself being a mistake, the fact that it's his fault his mom died and he robbed them all of this life that they could have had. But then, as he watches the meteor strike the tower and sees the look in his father's eyes, a different sense, almost the opposite of what his father is experiencing in this moment, comes over Sebastian. A feeling of purpose, of determination, of being found, of knowing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. The realization that for all the perfect opportunities that this alternate life could have given, they all amounted to nothing. Drakkenheim would have fallen, would have been destroyed all the same. Emberwood Village would have turned into the sort of husk of a town that turned into a boom adventure town that it would. The monsters, the thin places, the amalgamation, all of that would be here anyway. But Lenneth Eventide could be a horrible mutated monster in Drakkenheim. Something far worse than just dead. She could be something that tips the scale of balance and causes Drakkenheim to win, if you were to call Drakkenheim an enemy. And Sebastian wouldn't be there to stop any of it. He could be dead or a monster as well. So, for all the pain of his childhood, for all the mistakes, the lack of friends, the lack of a good upbringing, for all of the children who bullied him for being different, for all of the regrets, the sorrow, the mistakes, being bad at school, causing the incident with Mouse, all of that leads here. that Sebastian did arrive in Drakkenheim. A powerful sorcerer, not as good in his studies as this version of Sebastian Crow, but powerful all the same. He saved Pluto Jackson's life, he helped Veosenia, he took back the clock tower, he fought his way into the inscrutable tower, reclaimed it for the Amethyst Academy, he fought his way into Castle Draken, he destroyed the amalgamation, and now he is helping recover an heir to the throne of Drakkenheim and reclaim this city for the people of Westamar. And none of that would have happened in this alternate version. And suddenly, Sebastian feels freed, for a moment at least, of his regrets and self-doubt.
What do you do?
Wherever I am right now, this isn't real. I'm not sure what's happening to me. This doesn't feel like... Well, actually, I should ask the question. Does this feel like part of the Shadow Realm? Or does this feel like something different?
Give me an investigation or arcana check.
24.
It's an illusion. It's a shade.
I start to push it out of my mind. I like start just like moving through the illusion, trying to like disrupt it.
All right. Give me a charisma saving throw.
22.
Pushing against the illusion. You feel the rush of shadow and darkness engulfing upon the scene. And in that moment, you start to see the trees wilt and die. You see the ivy across the manor crumble away. The stones and the painted wood the painted wood peels. The floorboards begin to rot. The books begin to turn to dust and mildew. As the scene of Emberwood Village around you shifts back from a dream into the nightmare that is the Shadowlands. You have traveled now somewhere else in the Shadowlands, but you feel a closeness in presence. You are near Drakkenheim and where it is manifest in the Shadowlands. And as you look up towards where the city is, you see the rent in reality that Drakkenheim represents. One that carves its way through every plane. This tear, rent between worlds by the meteor that is reflected in Dreamland, in the Shadowlands, and in all the echoes of reality that are. Here in this shadowy version of Emberwood Village, this is, well, what is real? As much as real can be a thing in the Shadowlands. And as you do so, the manor fades away. The visions of yourself and your father fade away. The house is still there, though. Empty. Creaking. Windows and doors cracking as they flap in the wind.
My mother still isn't with me here, and neither is Crowley or Reaper.
No.
I approach the front door of Eventide Manor.
Okay.
I'm going to step into the house, even in the Shadow Realm, maybe more so in the Shadow Realm. This house always, anytime I was close to it, gave me a pit in my stomach.
Mm.
I have no memories here because I literally destroyed it with my birth, but I know the stories about how I came into existence and what it represents to this house are enough to make it difficult. But all the same, I walk in through the front doors.
As you step in the house, give me a perception check.
14.
14. There is something in the main room.
Something?
Something. Yes.
When you say something, object or
A creature.
creature? I quietly push myself up against the wall. I don't have any of my gear, correct?
No.
Okay. Pushing myself up against the wall, I very slowly inch towards the door and try to take a quick look in without being noticed.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
14.
Okay. Ooh. The voice calls back. Welcome home, Sebastian Crow.
Not entering into the doorway, still pressed up against the wall. Who am I speaking to?
Come in.
Do I recognize the voice? Is it the same as the demon statue? That's the impression I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
I walk into the room.
Seated in the room is a manifestation of the demon. This one, a bestial creature with a distended belly, goat-like legs, bat-like wings, and a bestial visage. It is seated in the living room. Well, it has been some time since we conversed last.
Yeah, I try to avoid it whenever possible. He who laughs last. I feel like we need a better name for you. I'm not going to say that every time. Just he who? That's not good either. We'll figure something out.
The elves called me Aaron Thule. You may call me whatever you like.
Aaron Thule? Works for me. And I'm actually gonna... I pull up a chair, sit, cross one leg over the other, lean in the chair. What brings you to my childhood home, Aaron Thule?
I am here to discuss terms.
What kind of terms? What business do you have with me?
Well, you have done well. You have followed the knowledge handed down to you. You are here on death's doorstep, back in the place where you were born. A fitting place to be born anew. And I have come to you now to make you a deal.
I'm all ears. Better be a good deal, though, because I already have plans for you, Aaron Thule, and
I'm sure you do. Tell me, where do those plans begin?
let's see here. I made a small mistake 16 or so years ago. You took advantage of that mistake and used it to ruin my life in a lot of ways. Turned people I cared about very deeply against me. Set me on a course. Wasn't ideal. Now, it's gotten me here, so maybe I should thank you for that. But you have a soul in your possession that I don't think rightfully belongs to you. You see, handing it over to you was a mistake, it was an accident, and I want to get it back by any means necessary. And if I have to become the most powerful sorcerer in the world and destroy you myself, then I'm going to do that.
Oh, little Sebastian Crow. The elves called me he who laughs last, because it is my fate. I will be there at the end of all things to give the final applause, to laugh at the final punchline that has been all of mortal existence. You can no longer end me. Well, if you wanted to end me, you'd need to end the universe. But that need not stand in the way of you getting what you want, so long as I get what I want.
What is it you want? I got no soul to offer you, and I've gambled with my friends' lives and souls far too many times. I think they're off the table as well.
But that's where you're mistaken, Sebastian Crow. In death, in what you have done, you have finished what was started. And the hold that is on your soul is gone.
I have my soul back?
You never did not have your soul, but it was bound up for a purpose that will soon be fulfilled.
To bring my mother back.
Precisely so.
Now, in my mom's sanctum is where I first encountered you. Now in the crypt of myself, where my mother led me, I have encountered you. And you prodded me on in performing the task that my mother set out to me. What? What is the relationship between you and my mother?
Are you familiar with investing?
I've heard of it, never really been my thing, but yeah.
Well, consider
a business. One wishes to begin a business, they need money to begin their business.
I'm
And
following.
an investor might come in the beginning with funds to help start that venture, with the understanding that they will receive their portion thenceforth, as set down on those terms. I have long seen myself as an investor. Sometimes the ventures that I embark on require a certain degree of, shall we say, trust to be held. A way of offering myself as the investor some insurance, as it were. Do you follow?
So far, I believe so.
Then you know what I'm here for.
Part of my soul?
In a manner of speaking. I can offer you much, Sebastian Crow. And I will say that the soul that you gave me all those years ago, I am willing to relinquish it. If that is of interest to you.
It is?
And what would you offer in return?
I offer you my soul in exchange for hers. But not yet. I have things to do. My soul
Intriguing.
is much more powerful than that of Mouse's. What's Mouse's soul in the sea of all the souls that you collect over the years? It's not much. So, surely a great sorcerer of the Amethyst Academy, probably on a path to becoming one of the greatest sorcerers of the Amethyst Academy ever. That soul's worth a lot more. So, seems like a win-win. But there's a time delay on that. I'm going to go back to the surface. I'm going to help my friends in their quests. I'm going to see to it that we get Wilhelm on the throne. I'm going to see to it that we rescue Johann. And see to it that Caspia has a place in the future of the ongoings of Westamar, that Pluto is well rewarded for his bravery. I'm going to see to it that all my friends get what they need. Then, I'm going to do good in this world. I'm going to do some good things. I'm going to help the Amethyst Academy. In several years, and again, what's time to a great demon? He who laughs last. You're going to be here at the end of existence, so what's 20, 30 more years? 40? I don't know how long I'm going to last. Knowing me, I'll probably be able to recoup it sooner rather than later, but when my time comes down the road, I've done all the things I want to do. I've accomplished those goals that I've set out for myself and my friends. You can have my soul. It's yours. I want Mouse's back as soon as possible.
The demon rubs its hands together and licks its lips, its tongue slapping against his flabby cheeks as he does so. A fiendish flicker glimmers in his eyes. You hear him sigh loudly as he ponders the words that you've given him. And he says, I've got so much more in mind for you than simply your soul, Sebastian Crow. For you're completely correct. What is the value of a single mortal soul? In the scheme of things, the value of soul of a young girl, and the value of a soul of a powerful sorcerer. Yes, it is certainly a trade, but I'm interested in growth opportunities. You and your mother have been granted knowledge. No doubt you know what she has planned for the two of you.
I know that we're going to be returning, and she's going to help me right the wrongs that have been happening in Drakkenheim and elsewhere.
And you, has she told you? Well, she has. I saw it myself, what you did to Oscar Yorin.
Yeah.
He licks his lips. Delicious, isn't it?
Honestly, it's better than I thought it was going to be. Tastes a little bit like chicken.
It will be different when you return to the mortal world. I do not want one soul from you, Sebastian Crow. And I don't care about your soul at all. I will release Mouse if you bind your hunger to mine. Every soul you take, a portion of it, come to me. You will not die, Sebastian Crow. No, you will live. And you will consume. And a portion of that will come to me. I offer you this in exchange for the girl's spirit. I will release her. I will give you this knowledge. I will give you this power. If you don't fulfill your quota, I will not take your soul. I will take your body and your mind until you have sufficiently made your quota again.
What is the quota? I mean, I'm open to this.
It will begin at 1 soul per year, accruing, and the next 2 souls. The year after that, 4, and so on, and so on, and so on.
We're negotiating. Again, this feels like a win-win for you. You get to sit back and grow fat on the souls that I have to acquire for you. So, I get Mouse back.
I will release the girl's soul.
You never come after Pluto, Veo. Let's throw Wrath, Rudy, and Wilhelm in there as well.
Done.
I will only send you evil souls.
The wickedest you can find.
I can agree on that. Now, the definition of wicked is, like, I've killed paladins in the past. I might end up having to again.
Ooh. Yes, delightful. I
So-
can accept this.
I'm going to go out there. I'm going to do all this killing for you. You're going to get fat on souls. You're not going to touch my friends. I get mouse back. Still feels like you just get to sit back and relax. So here's my one counterpoint. Yeah, 1 soul a year sounds great. 2 the next, 3 the next. I think I want to put a limit on that, though. I can't offer you more than 25 souls a year. Once it hits that, I think we're capped out, and then it just stays at 25 per year after that. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm having to find 1,000 souls 1,000 years from now. That doesn't really suit me. We're going to start having trouble finding 1,000 evil souls. It's unreasonable, that request.
A look of a shit-eating grin appears on the demon's face. You're better at math than I expected you to be. Drat.
I can maybe find you 25 souls a year, but we're going to work our way up that over the next 25 years. If you agree to that, I agree to this deal, and I will feed you souls in exchange for mouse, and I will send you the evilest souls that I can.
The demon ponders. Licks his lips. And says, every year, you must give me more souls than the year before.
That puts us in the same position as before, because if I'm offering you 1 soul a year, then by the time I reach 25, I still have to do 26 the next.
In lieu of that, the souls that you offer must be more evil than the souls the year before.
So either I'm giving you more souls per year, or I'm giving you more evil souls.
Both will accrue with time.
That sounds worse than the original deal.
What can I say?
Well, how many souls are you getting for me per year right now?
0.
Okay. Do you want me to give you souls every year?
Yes.
1 a year,
No. I need more than that.
going up every year. And, okay. Here's the deal. I've got it. I've got the counter offer. You ready? I'm about to go back to Drakkenheim. I imagine I have a whole lot of killing to do. There's a lot of people that stand in the way between us and our goals. This year, I will give you 100 souls.
I'm listening.
And it decreases every year, down to 25.
Here's the deal then, Sebastian Crow. I want from you 666 souls. Souls that are evil and powerful. An innocent, I have no interest in.
Neither do I.
Very well then. I want 666 souls every 66 years.
one last potential offer. If I exceed the amount, can they go towards my next offer?
Towards the subsequent offer? No, I will simply take the best 666 souls that I wish.
Well, that last one was worth a shot, but
They must all be harvested by your hand.
okay.
And I will release the girl's soul
When?
immediately.
Okay.
Very well, then. A technicality, of course. This is all contingent on you returning to the land of the living as specified,
I will.
which is dependent on the performance of your allies in the land of the living.
I have all the faith in them in the world.
Then, there will come a moment when they are ready to fulfill their side of this purpose. In that moment, I will be there with the pact to sign. As an extension of this offer, I can offer you magical secrets and other magical power if you wish to take it now.
I do.
This will mean that you gotta take your next level as Fiend Warlock.
I imagined as such.
Okay. Under this agreement, if you accept this, when you come back, I will let you. You're currently 15th level. So you can either exchange a level, or the next level that you take has to be one level of Warlock. At least.
Yep.
And then from there, you are bound by the terms of that pact. You should all, but in exchange for that, you may not act against me in any direct fashion.
Understood.
Very good.
Just to be clear, I may not act against you.
And, yes, to be clear, you may not act against me.
Okay.
The girl's spirit will be released. You will be given this power and the responsibilities to me that it entails. The knowledge that was granted to Lenneth Eventide grant you even more power. And should you enjoy our bargain, and should you wish to overperform, there may be additional rewards for doing so.
I'm always a fan of a good rewards program.
Very good then. I'm glad we could come to an understanding, Sebastian Crow.
As long as it means I get Mouse back. You're gonna hold that up. You're gonna hold up your part of this. As long as I get Mouse back, I don't care what happens to me.
I will release the girl's spirit.
Can we, just before I shake or sign on this, what happens when you release her spirit? It's been 16 years since, or no, sorry, longer. It's been about 18 or 19 years.
Whatever her spirit wishes to do, and whatever becomes of her spirit, it will no longer be under my care or under my power.
Is she able to return to the world?
Assuming she wishes to do so.
on her own accord. She doesn't need any magic or anything to help her.
What makes you think I would be able to bring her back to life?
She never died.
Sebastian Crow, she died most painfully when you rent her soul from its body.
So you release her soul and then we have to figure out how to resurrect her?
I am a demon of death. To give life is not in my power or my nature.
Okay, I'll figure it out. But at least her soul will be free, therefore available to be.
Certainly.
Okay.
Very good. I will see you on the other side. And with that, he melts back into the shadows.
Sebastian just sits in his old, creaky, shadowy, decrepit home and thinks about what he's done.
Think about what you've done.
And tries to mull over the wording of everything in his head and plan his next moves accordingly. He probably sits there for a good few hours.
As you wait in the house, a short while later, your mother arrives with Crowley and Reaper. She steps in the door. She says, a lot of memories here. A lot of things that never were.
Sebastian almost doesn't notice. He's sitting kind of mumbling to himself in the chair, staring at the corner where the demon was.
Did you see what had been?
Mom, yeah. Or I saw what could have been. But things gone differently.
That life that we had. I know that life. I knew that life was not going to be.
From the looks of it, it was better that way. We wouldn't have had this opportunity now in front of us.
It's true. That was all I knew. For me, I looked forward in my own life. And I saw all of those events. And it all just ended on that day. And I could never figure out why. I pondered so many different alternatives, so many different possibilities. And in the end, I made a choice.
I understand now why you did what you did.
I wanted to be a part of your life.
And now you can be.
It's a shame that we have to make such terrible sacrifices for that. But that's the hand that we have, the life that we live.
Speaking of sacrifices, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But I know I'm doing what I have to. I spoke to somebody here just before you arrived. He who laughs last.
Aaron Thule.
He offered me a deal. I know it's ill-advised to take deals from demons, but there's something I needed desperately to accomplish.
Sebastian, I can't give you advice about a mistake that I made myself. I did the same thing and I know it. You're just lucky that you know the terms and what it is that you're agreeing to. Aaron Thule is powerful. It is through Aaron Thule that I gained the knowledge to do what we're doing now. And it is my belief that it is because of Aaron Thule that the elves survived whatever calamity destroyed our people. The glut of souls and memories that creature has fed on for millennia. To what end? I can't imagine.
Things that matter the most to me are that I bring Mouse back, which it sounds like there's a chance I can now. The second most important thing was that I found out what my purpose was in your grand vision, and I think I understand now. And the last thing was that I helped my friends and I help Drakkenheim and I do good for this world. I think we're on a path through evil means, though it may be. I will do good things.
That is the enigma of he who laughs last. And that is why he has the name he does. For in all my knowledge or history, Aaron Thule only ever comes to powerful spellcasters looking to do the right thing. And all he seeks from them is service. Those that are bound to Aaron Thule through these pacts, there are others. And in doing so, you have made a pact that many of the greatest spellcasters have made. I do not know to what end Aaron Thule seeks. But it seems to me that the destruction of mortals is not among them.
I mean, he wanted evil souls, which, again, I'm always nervous that I'm missing some fine print or hidden text here or something that he's not saying fully, but my plan is to return to the world above and fight my way through the evil of the world anyway.
Then he offered you precisely what he offered me.
It didn't seem like much of a difference if those souls were going to him or just coming here. In exchange for the one soul that I need back from him. And if I only put my powers to good and destroying evil, then really it doesn't matter. It feels like a deal that I can make. Mind you, you did ask for a larger quantity of souls than I originally expected, but there's always going to be wars.
666 every 66 years?
Yes.
Indeed.
You'll help me? Maybe not in that, but I just mean in general.
We will do what has to be done. That has always been the goal, and that has always been what I want.
I feel more sure of myself than I did when I got here. I feel, although completely opposite ends of the spectrum, talking to Theodore Marshall and talking to Aranthul, I don't think they could be more different, but they both offered me something of value. Theodore Marshall showed me that I don't need to doubt my intentions, I just need to act on them. I just need to do what I need to do to make this world a better place, and Aranthul has given me an answer to my biggest regret, though probably the biggest thing that held me back. If I can undo that mistake, bring Mouse back, maybe Cat will forgive me. Besides that, though, I'm going to help my friends. I'm going to help this world.
There is little left for us here in the Shadowlands. We should cross to the other side of the city and await your friends to bring what is needed on their end. They will have your body. They will bring us what we need. You now, your spirit is strong. Together, we will come back. And then we will be able to do what we need to do.
Okay.
And with that, let us see what is happening in the realm of the living. Let's go over to Joe and Joe. Returning to the present moment, there is a thrumming of power as the druid Yogang Ghostweaver grasps upon his ritual staff and incants the final words: blood for blood, life for life. With a crack of energy, Sebastian's levitating body drops down upon the stone with a thud. The magic fades. The blood in the ritual pools across the grove quickly coagulates, boils off, and is rendered unto ash. The smoldering body of Trethesia begins to crackle and break as the scales face the ravage of time upon them, almost like the embers of a flame crackling up into the air as pieces of the scales break off of its body, as bits of its flesh break off, like a smoldering pyre, but just composed of the dragon's form itself. On the slab, Sebastian Crow's body is emaciated, the skin tightly bound across it, before it too begins to molder in the same way as the dragon, bits of skin flaking off and floating into the air. The druid watches intently and breathes.
Is he supposed to do that? Is that
Yeah, is this good? Is this...
like just dry skin or?
Did we do it? Is it done? Is he back?
The druid nods. I have done all that can be done. Now it is just a matter of time.
Like, how long? Hours, days, weeks?
Should not be long. Although, for you, the measure of time, I suppose, is much shorter than what I would consider. Nevertheless, we will allow it should not be longer than sunset.
Thank you for your help.
I'm gonna go over and stroke his hair.
Bits of it fall out.
Oh,
Touching Pluto!
oh, Sebastian. Can you hear me? Sebastian! Sebastian!
Do I see his like chest? Is he breathing?
No.
Pluto, can I take his? Do I know how to take a pulse? Is that? I put my hand on his forehead because I think that's where it happens.
Give me a medicine check.
Okay. I'll be honest, it's not. Oh, 21!
There is not a single sign of life in Sebastian's body right now. There is no heartbeat, no pulse, no breath.
We just killed a dragon for nothing?
I mean, I hope that we can trust that maybe it will take time.
I mean, we can wait. But it can't be for nothing. Or, you know what? We try again. We just keep trying.
Yeah.
We keep killing dragons until we bring Sebastian back.
I mean, we've done it once.
I don't care how many dragons we have to throw at this problem. We will get it done. But I guess I'm just gonna sit on a nearby stone and just sort of like, pondering with Ignatius in my hand as I intently watch for any sign of life.
Okay.
Eating whatever snacks Veo will give me.
I was gonna say, I pull out my snacks and I'm just like watching I'm waiting for his chest to start like rising. I'm just like sitting there eating snacks and I'm a little bit stressed out, so I'm just...
Yeah.
Sebastian. There, in the Shadowlands, you wait in the ruin of your old home. There, with Lenneth. And suddenly, in the creaking old house, one of the old clocks begins to sound. Ding! 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 Upon the stroke of midnight. Lenneth stands and says, "It's time. Your friends have succeeded.
I knew they would.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Things will be very different when you return. You understand this?
I know. But I think it's going to be okay.
She gestures to the front door of the house. When you are ready, step through, and I will see you on the other side.
Mom, thanks for everything.
It is only the beginning.
See you soon. And I walk, and I open the door.
You step through the door, and in a whirl, you feel your spirit step out into the cold night air of the mortal world. You feel the pull towards your own body. It is the dead of night, but you feel the direction that you must go. Unfettered by a mortal form, you can fly with your spirit north of Drakkenheim to the Shrine of Morgan, where you feel your body is. It is there, in the dead of night, that you see the scene. The smoldering body of the dragon, your own emaciated corpse, with Veo and Pluto sitting silently, vigil beside it. What do you do?
Floating down towards my corpse, I look at it. Well, this is going to be uncomfortable. And I'm gonna... It's like putting on an old pair of clothes, but it's like an old ratty pair of clothes now. Like it's like they don't fit quite right. I've been free of them for a time, and I imagine that, like, you know, being free of aching bones, being tired, having like injuries or pain, or even the weight of breath and a heartbeat and all of that, it's all very heavy.
You know when you put on a swimsuit that hasn't dried yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like lay down on the slab and I'm like getting, and it's just like, oh man, really? Oh, there's that shoulder pain again. Okay. And I'm trying to like worm my way in to this corpse.
Yeah. As you do so, you feel a strange sensation as you slip on to the dusty bones and dead flesh of your old body. Some of the pain is there, but at the same time, you feel power. You feel a power over this body that you did not have before. For in many ways, it is but a vessel, a skeleton for which you can graft your will upon it. And this new mastery that you possess, you feel it sharply. You feel that you could shape yourself into a form more suiting to your will as you slip into this body. What do you do?
I mean, Sebastian's always thought he was quite attractive. But he feels more powerful. And he feels maybe unintentionally, but he carries some of the Shadow Realm with him as he reimagines himself. And so, does his form start to change as I'm describing this? Is this
Yes.
like, yeah, okay. So Sebastian's orange hair still there, but he has 2 streaks of white along the side. His face looks slightly more chiseled and defined. His eyes, though, as they open, are pure black, inky pools of void. His academy robes, they maintain the look and style that he had before, the sort of military long jacket, but they take on a darker hue, almost black and gold, with sort of an undertone of purple.
Like
to
that
them.
midnight dusk purple.
Yeah.
That type of purple that you see in the dead of night when the last vestiges of light are coming out.
And he still has his like midnight purple scarf, his all of his academy garb, but the gold is almost like sparkling now. His staff forms back in his hands, also black and gold. His right arm carries the scars of the Shadow Realm. And so his right arm is also a midnight purple with almost talon-like claws on it. And as he like looks down at it, it sort of has like cracks in it that are almost like glowing with octarine light. And as he like calms his hand down, the cracks disappear. And he seems to almost be able to like, it's like on and off, the glowing of this arm as he looks down at it. His rings on his hands shine brighter, and he looks almost like this contrast of glittering gold and dark midnight as he comes back into his form.
Veo, Pluto, you see Sebastian getting up from the slab and looking at his hands.
I run over.
Yeah.
Sebastian, is that you?
My dear friend Pluto. Yeah, buddy.
We did it! Oh, yes! I can do anything! I can literally do anything!
Veo, get in here, get in here.
You're back.
As you embrace Sebastian, Pluto, and place your hands on him, he is as cold as a corpse. No breath escapes his mouth, and you do not hear his heartbeat.
You you okay in there?
I'm great.
That's probably because we used dragon blood to kill you back. I'm just saying.
Couldn't find a human.
Yeah.
So
We're sorry.
We had to kind of like figure it out as we went.
Don't be sorry, you guys. You did amazing.
Yes. Oh, did you watch? Did you see any of it? What did
No.
you see?
But look, and I look at there's like a corpse of a dragon just like, psh, and I'm just like, look
You
at
know,
that.
part of was not to kill that. We had to drag it back here.
I bet.
Yeah. We got help from some other wizard who's gone now. He just kind of...
You didn't try to replace me, did you?
No.
We went into this knowing that whoever we brought on was replaceable.
It was sort of like a, you know, it was like a temporary, like, we filled the void and then we unfilled it. Also, a lot of people got hurt trying to fill the void. Oh man. Yeah, it is hard to find good quality candidates.
Yeah. We knew anything we do, we can't do it without you. We knew you had to come back. Why didn't you come back the first time we used the scroll?
Yeah, we kind of burned. We thought we lost you. When you fell in the school.
Let's just say I couldn't come back then because I was going to find us help. And I did.
So you could have come back that time.
Yeah.
and made us capture a dragon.
We were worried sick.
Guys, it's all okay.
I mean,
was
yeah,
all
'cause we
necessary.
went and did all this stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
actually, we have so much to tell you.
Yeah.
We went into the forest.
Yep.
We captured a dragon. We found the guy that initially killed you.
Yep.
I think he's dead now. We blew him up? No, he got away.
He got away. I
He got
think.
away. Yeah, that's fine.
We're
Well, good, 'cause
partial way through getting
We'll get him. We'll get him.
revenge,
We'll
you
get him.
know?
We'll get him.
I'll figure that out. I have plans for his soul.
Yes.
What?
I have plans for his soul.
Like,
What do you mean soul? Like,
yeah.
you
is
gonna
that-
bargain it off or?
Yeah, are you like? Is that like, just like a cool thing you say now, or is there like more? Is there more under there?
Let's go with it's a cool thing I say now.
Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Awesome.
I'm with that. Okay.
I'm a little bit concerned about your temperature.
Yeah.
I'm no
also the-
doctor, but I usually
checked your pulse and you still don't have one.
usually people are breathing and their hearts are pumping. That's what I was
Do you need
waiting
a
for.
blanket or something?
I'm beyond the confines of life and death. You don't even worry. Don't even worry. It's so okay.
As Sebastian speaks those words, you see the moldering body of Trethesia begin to stir.
Uh-oh. Oh, it ain't dead yet.
As what happened to Sebastian seems to mirror the form of the dragon. As its body and flesh molder, revealing the skeletal form underneath. Trethesia's form slowly creaks and rocks as a draconic claw is placed down and another is placed down, and the neck of the dragon begins to slowly rise as the wings recoil back, as the scales of the dragon turn a purple black, and billowing clouds of octarine energy reverberate from its wings. The dragon's form disintegrates
Oh no.
and rebuilds itself. Oh, we can put Sebastian in the scene there too. Something like this. A massive death dragon that places its paws down on the ground, furls back its wings, and screeches into the night for a brief moment. Its elegant horns and frilled face twisting the visage of Trethesia into something unrecognizable. And it looks down upon the three of you.
I begin casually approaching it.
Sebastian. Sebastian.
I turn to the druid and say, did we only get like half a spell here? He's not breathing. That thing's walking.
Yeah, you really like kind of phoned it in here, man. Oh.
And Yogain says nothing. Just watches with a pale expression of fear upon his face.
I walk up to the dragon.
As you approach the dragon, its form shudders for a moment, shakes,
and collapses into a billowing mist of octarine energy that dissipate, leaving behind a familiar-looking figure. You've seen her once as a simulacrum. It's long ago. It is Lenneth Eventide, Sebastian's mother. She wears a purple-black robe and looks up at her hands that bear 10 rings.
Welcome back.
She hugs you.
I hug her.
And she turns to Veo and Pluto. She says, "Thank you. I could not have asked for anything more from my son's good friends. You've done a wonderful thing for our family. Thank you so much. I don't know how I could ever repay you. But whatever it is, if it is within my power to give you, it is yours."
It's so nice to meet you. We've heard a lot about you.
I'm assuming this is the help?
Yes, I brought her. She has the same goals as us. She always has. She wants to stop the madness of delirium. She wants to put an end to the evils going on in Drakkenheim. She wants to help us even with realigning the unfortunate nature of some of the issues facing us. And Mom, you remember Veo from when we were kids.
Yes, I didn't recognize you.
Hi. It's it's really nice to meet you. And yeah, we've heard a lot about you, and wow. I was not expecting to see you in real life anytime soon.
And this is my friend, Pluto.
Prince of Caspia. I have both your valiant deeds to thank for my return.
How? How did this happen?
It is ancient magic. And thank you, Yogain. I could not have done this without you, old friend. Yogain nods and says, "It is good to see you again. I can appreciate the irony that of your state. And Lenneth laughs for a moment. It is strange to think that I wear the form of a scourge of the elven people. But it is a fitting turn, I think. Nevertheless, it is lovely to meet you both."
Do I get a sense that it's like power kind of coming from her is more positive? Like, can I kind of figure out what's the intent of her?
Well, you can give me an insight check if you'd like.
Sure. 6.
She seems utterly opaque to you. Whatever intent she might harbor, whatever goals she might have, you cannot tell.
I was not expecting this. But it seems like you found something incredible. To be reunited. I'm so happy for you. This is wonderful.
It's going to be good for all of us. I mean, with me and my mom here, we have two of the most powerful mages of the entire history of the Amethyst Academy, a family of powerful mages. We can change the world. We can stand up to anything that faces us.
Indeed. Sebastian and I now possess a special bond that is more than just a mother and her child. We are linked now. Should one of us perish, they will be remade in 1d10 days within 100 feet of the other. And for that reason, it is in our best interest to only meet in person if circumstances demand no other option.
I thought we could, I don't know, have a picnic, go on walks, no?
Yes, but not whilst our enemies are working against us.
Oh,
For when you and I are together, we are most vulnerable. So long as one of us survives, the other can never be destroyed.
Will I still be able to talk to you? I'm assuming my contact other plane spell isn't going to work anymore, but can we like
Like a message?
project?
Of course.
Yeah.
Whenever we need to. It will be much easier now.
Less towels.
Certainly less towels will be needed.
Great. I'm going to miss those towels.
I do have to ask. Lucretia Matthias approached us on our way here,
Oh, we're totally taking her soul.
and she I know you keep saying that, okay, but she said she warned us about this, but this seems good. Yeah, this is good. This is a good thing.
I think so.
I mean, you're both back. Like, you're now reunited. We've got Sebastian. We've got. I don't think I would have ever seen someone like you. Ever.
Pluto.
Like, this is. But, you know, she did have plans, and she tried to tempt me. But I said nay.
You know, Pluto, I'm proud of you for not giving in to temptation. I think it's a very powerful thing to be able to say that you didn't give in to any temptations while I was gone. As I always say, what's the worst that could happen, right?
Yeah. We said that a lot when you were gone.
And if you had given in to those temptations, it could have been bad. But, you know, just keep in mind that sometimes you do give in to temptations because they're going to help everybody. But I'm glad that you didn't.
Okay, yeah, it's just like, yeah, all these like weird things you're saying about souls and stuff.
Is it, do you like my arm? It's pretty cool, eh?
So that's not from the dragon? That's, if I'm to understand.
That's the creepiest thing I've ever seen, man. That's
So,
Yeah, it's nice.
you're like an opposite furnace. You're just like you're it's cold. It's just all cold.
I mean, I have warmth in here for both of you. Not physically, like there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
But emotionally, there's a lot of warmth. You know? And that's what matters. It's what's inside.
So what happened? What brought you back like this? Clearly it wasn't just the magic that we did.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming, and I
thought we
turned
did
to the
that.
druid, I'm like, I'm assuming that's not what this is.
Long story short, okay, ran into Mom. We chatted. As soon as we were starting to chat, there was like this voice of you two being like, come back. And I was like, I'm just meeting my mom. She's talking about like maybe joining up. Maybe we could align forces. And then all of a sudden it was like, hey, I can go back now. But that's why I had to say no. There was a lot that I needed to figure out. And it was my first time ever actually getting to talk to my mom. So I couldn't. I hope you guys understand.
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
then I kept going, got a little hungry, did a little eating, visited a few Shadowland buffets, and then I actually Pluto came across this this place with a burning brazier, and it was really cool. And I approached it. There were a lot of spirits around, and Theodore Marshall was there.
What?
Yeah,
Gosh.
I asked him about you.
Yeah?
Nothing but respect. You know, he's doing all right, and he wants you to not feel guilty. He is sort of like a beacon for lost souls now, and it's like his job to make sure that they make it to the light. He loves what he's doing down there. He has no desire to ever come back. He thinks that what he's doing is important. And I asked him, like, you know, Pluto feels a lot of guilt about this. He's like, no, I'm where I need to be. And I think he may have said sorry, but I'm just going to say sorry on his behalf for like the way that all went down. He just really nice guy. And yeah, you don't have to feel guilty about that. He's great.
I surprisingly needed that closure.
Yeah.
And that feels really good.
Oh, and I ran into Jupiter. Less good.
Oh no.
Really confused, wandering in the darkness, thinks he's still alive. Generally, I get this vibe that he just Caspianly refuses to believe he died.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, he's still as being a hero. He's slaying monsters in the Shadow Realm, but seems a little confused about what he's doing there, and he thinks there's just a lot of ghosts in Drakkenheim all of a sudden. But I did see him. He kind of wandered off before I was his what's the word? He recruited me as a squire. That's it.
Oh.
I let him played along. And then, ate Oscar Yorn, killed Oscar Yorn,
So what?
What do you say, eat?
killed Oscar Yorn. We faced off. He wanted to kill me. I wanted to kill him.
Yeah.
And we had a cool wizard battle, and you guys should have seen it. It was...
Sounds like it would have been really impressive.
He didn't... Guys... Oh, big, powerful Oscar Yorn didn't even get a chance.
Wow.
It was so cool.
Pluto, as you listen to Sebastian's words, you feel the stirring of Ignatius, and it says in your mind, what does he mean, 8?
Yeah. What? 8? Would you 8? You 8. You...
Okay, so... in order to have enough power to bring myself and my mom back, this arm, let's call it a soul-rending arm, right? And I had to fight Oscar. Then I had to,
Ignatius begins to shudder and shake, and it says in your mind, Pluto, he's not telling you everything.
Yeah, you don't just... This isn't like Gloop Gloop. This is...
Who's Gloop Gloop? Gloop Gloop?
Sorry, cousins. That was mildly offensive for me to say that. I apologize.
Gloop Gloop was, his brother.
Yeah.
We didn't eat him.
I feel like...
Okay, I ate Oscar Yorn's soul because I needed the power to bring me and my mom back.
But what happens to their soul when you eat them?
They're gone. Like, it's just
like a new form of magic that you've learned? This is a normal progression of your shadow magic? I don't know where all that comes from, but...
Yeah, it's it was necessary in order, like, okay, look, my mom's a dragon, and she is one of the most powerful mages in the world. I had to eat a few souls to get her here.
How many?
How many currently?
The fact that you're trying to warp the question tells me it's a lot.
Listen, there were a few like scary like, "Rah," and I ate them too. I didn't eat Theodore Marshall. Okay, that was an option. I just want you guys to know that it was an option. And I didn't, because eating souls is not a nice thing to do.
Pluto, you feel the boiling rage of Ignatius. And your hand is almost shaking as the blade
You okay there, buddy?
wants you to draw it so badly.
Are you gonna eat our soul?
Is that a serious question?
No, Pluto, you wouldn't do
My
that.
Pluto,
eyes,
make a
like,
charisma
start to-
saving throw.
My eyes are growing darker as you ask that.
Thankfully I get a 19.
You resist the urge to pull the blade.
Pluto.
You're not gonna...
But Ignatius cries out, "He's an abomination. Tell him to tell you what he is."
Pluto, I would never eat your soul. No. Like, not even, I would die. I would spend eternity in the 9 hells before I eat either of your soul. Okay, it's not about that. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna eat it. Like, no. I chose to go hunting for Oscar Yorn because I needed a powerful soul. There are always going to be other options for power, but I chose to go after Oscar Yorn specifically because he is evil, he is vile, and I didn't care what happened to him. But I care more than anything about you two.
Ignatius wants the question answered.
Do you need to keep eating souls?
Well, I got a plan.
That doesn't answer the question, Sebastian.
Look, Sebastian, I know you've been through a lot, but a lot of people told us not to do this, and we ignored them. We ignored a lot of people because we really wanted you back.
Okay.
We wanted you back more than anything. Theo and I have been working at this for weeks because we're scared. We were scared. I was scared that we'd lost you forever. And you're back.
I'm back.
But you don't feel the same.
I'm not. I'm better. I'm more powerful now. I can do more. I won't die again. I won't fumble. I'm more confident. Theodore Marshall said some really great stuff to me about not being burdened by my past and not something like, you don't have to, oh man, you don't have to do the right thing to do the right thing. You don't have to know what the right thing, his message was just like, go forward and do the right thing. And I'm more powerful now. I can do the right things now. I can fix everything. I can save everyone, Pluto.
There is no need to hide the truth from your friends, Sebastian.
We just wanted you back.
I am back.
But this whole eating soul thing is kind of freaking me out, man.
I point to, I guess, my mom. There was a dragon there a few minutes ago. You went up to one of the most majestic and legendary creatures of our continent, and you captured it and brought it here to feed its soul into me to bring me back. You have killed thousands of monsters. Their souls go to hell to be tormented for eternity. Why are we drawing the line all of a sudden that like me eating the souls of evil creatures is worse than sending them to hell for eternal torment.
Yep, I'm in. I know I've killed a lot of things, and I sort of simultaneously was confronted with the idea that there's a place after death.
There is.
And that there's also a place after death. And, I mean, if you're kind of cleaning up the mess that I leave somewhere else, then, I don't know. I guess I don't really have anything to say, but...
I'm a lich.
What?
What's that?
More accurately, we are Belnorn. It is an ancient elven rite that extends the life indefinitely, so long as we consume spirits to sustain ourselves. Should either of us be destroyed physically, our forms will simply rejuvenate in 1d10 days. We are bound to one another in this respect. And yes, if we do not consume spirits, it will result in the slow degradation of our forms and magic. But so long as we do, we will remain eternal.
Listen, guys, we got a long road ahead of us, and guess what's on that road? A whole lot of fighting things. I'm just gonna take a soul here and there from the evil creatures that we are gonna face. There's always gonna be evil in this world, and it's my job to protect this world. I see it, this was the deal that I made.
To answer your question, what becomes of the spirits? For the Belnorn, unlike the human form of lichdom, we do not suffer from the slow compulsion to devour whatever spirits we wish to consume. The price that we pay for that, though, is that the spirits that we do consume will forever haunt our nightmares.
We're back to screaming night terrors again, guys.
And though you have control of your form, be aware that your deathless nature will be exposed by the light of the full moon.
Yeah, Pluto, if there's a full moon, you're gonna walk in front of me.
Okay.
I just don't want you to see that. I'm handsome and beautiful.
We can find you like a
Tarp.
mask or something and put a blanket over at that
Yeah, we can
point.
make me. Yeah.
I have to say that it's a lot to take in.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna require a little bit of adjustment. But having you back was the most important thing to us.
There's one other thing.
So that you know, Sebastian, to sustain your form, you should make sure that you feed, at least to start, about twice a week. Once you come into your power, every week or two will be more than enough to sustain your form.
Okay, cool.
Should you go too long, you will feel your sanity slowly go.
So we have to find something evil at least twice a week?
Oh, like that's a problem for us.
I mean, is it
No.
only... Like, what kinds of souls? Can they be monsters? Are they only humanoid?
Yes,
Yes, monsters, or yes, only humanoid?
only a humanoid soul will do.
I mean,
Oh.
that might be a little bit more challenging. And I mean,
Where's Everett Freed?
Sebastian, like, what defines evil?
It doesn't have to be an evil soul.
Yeah, if they're going to kill us, I eat their soul.
Any humanoid spirit will do.
Listen, I have a bit of a list going on.
Don't love that perspective, but let's get back to the whole evil.
Certainly.
If I eat a more powerful soul, will it satiate me longer? Like, let's say, just throwing an idea out there, an academy director.
This is as new to me as it is to you.
Okay.
So, I'm not certain. On the other side of things, you will not hunger or thirst.
Yeah, more rations for you, Veo.
And
Yeah, but you're not gonna eat food. Food is food.
Can I still taste wine?
probably. You won't be able to get intoxicated, though.
I mean, I guess that's a bonus.
You're like a soul vampire now, or soul vampire? Is that what we're calling you?
I mean, that sounds pretty sexy, right? Soul vampire? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it does strike
Yeah,
a certain
soul vampire
fear
Sebastian.
But to be more specific, you are now resistant to poison damage, and you have advantage on saving throws against poison. But enjoy being vulnerable to radiant damage.
I mean,
Resistant to poison damage?
Yes. And yeah, you don't need to eat, sleep, or breathe.
I'm honestly, Sebastian, it is. I know you've changed, but it's just it's great to have you back. We missed you,
Pluto?
and I know we can't do this without you. And I know you have stuff that is undone, and I think together we can do it. And I think if you have a list, we can try to work through that list together. I mean, we did the dragon thing. You're right. We got the dragon. So, like, we can get other evil humanoids.
We have lots on our list. There is something else, though.
Oh.
And before I tell you there's something else, I want you to know that it's awesome. And I also want you to know something I've had a hard time saying.
Okay.
Pluto, I love you. And it's going to be okay.
Oh. I love you, man.
So I made a deal
Yeah.
with somebody we know.
Ignatius is just like, if Ignatius was a person sitting there, he'd just be like shaking and turning
I'm trying
red.
to stifle a blade.
Yeah, give me another charisma saving throw.
in the.
As I look into Pluto's eyes and tell him I love him.
I only get a 7.
You feel your hand wrap around the handle of the blade, and it flies forward, projecting its zone of truth.
I have to make a save against that, don't I?
Unless you're gonna willingly fail to.
What's the save?
Charisma 13.
I mean,
All right, I got a 23. Does he know that I've succeeded?
Yeah.
Anyway, Pluto,
Sebastian, just tell the truth.
Ignatius is super concerned about you.
Listen, okay, good news, bad news. Let's play good news, bad news. What do you want first?
Sebastian, no matter what you tell us,
Pluto, do you want Sebastian to willingly submit to the blade?
You can tell us.
we won't love you any less. We did all
You
this.
might.
We won't.
Why? Why
Okay,
would we?
I submit to the blade.
You can tell us.
I cut a deal with He Who Laughs Last in order to free Mouse's soul. Her soul is now available. It is not back, but what this means is that rather than having to travel to hell and fight the demon lord in order to obtain her soul, instead it is free to be brought back as soon as we figure out a way to do so. I have made a deal with him, but it works, I believe, because all that he wanted was souls to be sent to him. I'm going to be taking souls anyway, and so I thought why not get Mouse back? We're well on our way there now. Gain power. Send souls to he who laughs last.
How many?
It's a lot, but it's over a good amount of time.
How many?
666 souls over 66 years.
So,
Some math on that.
So you would condemn 666 to save one?
The way that I see it, again, we're on the verge of a lot of wars at our doorstep, Pluto. A lot of people are gonna be trying to kill us. We're gonna have to do a lot of killing. I imagine there's gonna be 666 people that we're gonna have to kill. And I'm just going to send their souls to hell. Most of them were probably going there anyway.
Don't all souls go there? I mean, if Theodore Marshall was there, you'd think everybody would
I
go.
wasn't in hell. I was in the Shadowlands. There's a layer past that.
Yes, the Shadowlands are the first port of call for spirit. And it is there that souls find their final place. We believe, as best we can, that some spirits eventually do find their way to the abyss or to the celestial realms and become angels or demons. Others wander the Shadowlands eternally until they become ghosts or other undead spirits. Some find other destinations. It is not known. The Sacred Flame believes that they find the place where dawn breaks over the Shadowlands. But it is worth noting, Sebastian, that the spirits that you send to your patron and the spirits that you need to consume your own for yourself are mutually exclusive.
I realized that. So, like,
You can't
3
eat
for
them.
him, 1 for me. Yeah. Sort of, we'll divvy it up.
It sounds like
The
you want,
ratio
like,
for yourself is actually a little bit higher.
I think you need like 60 to 70 a year, whereas he only needs like, what, 10 a year?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh man.
but every person we've killed hasn't necessarily been someone who's evil. So are we condemning anyone to this fate?
We were already murdering them. Like, you guys are drawing weird lines here. Like,
Sebastian, we can't. You may be a soul vampire, lich, the elven
soul
name.
vampire. Soul vampire sounds way cooler.
But
Oh
Listen.
man.
I knew
That is the translation for Baelnorn.
Dale Norn, that's the word.
My heart's going a little bit.
I figured
Oh.
For me,
Going a little bit.
Pluto.
a little bit in
Oh, that's
stress.
Oh man.
I mean, if I had a heart
Ignatius
that's
is
so
still out, and at this point, Ignatius thinks you just probably destroy him.
Oh man. Oh,
I mean, I haven't even
man.
seen my patron since I left. I don't think I even signed anything. So, like,
Sebastian,
Yeah.
I figured when we brought you back, you wouldn't be 100%. Anyone who goes through death and back is not going to be the same when they come back. But please don't lose your humanity through this.
no, okay. I'm going to I've given, okay. I've made a choice, and I need you two to understand this choice. A while ago, I almost offered both of your souls.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, you were pretty quick.
Now,
to do it.
mind you, I had a plan, okay? I'm really good at playing cards, all right? You guys have never played with me. You didn't know that. But anyway, I'm not going to deal with your souls anymore. But mine, I'm fine. I'm fine with this. And in exchange for being able to save the world, for help you, Pluto, I'm going to help you win the King's Moon. I'm going to help you win glory for Caspia. I'm going to help you be an important part of the reclaiming of Drakkenheim. The Jackson name will stand triumphant in all the glory of the things that are to come, and I'm going to help you get there. Vale, I'm going to help free your dad. I'm going to help reestablish the order in Drakkenheim for you and your family. I'm going to help Wilhelm get on the throne. I'm going to help Rudy, whatever Rudy is doing, saving her family, I don't know. And Wrath, cat stuff, I'm going to help him. And along the way, I'm also going to fix the biggest mistake I ever made, and I'm going to get Mouse back. In exchange, I am dedicating my entire existence for eternity to seeking out wrongdoers, evil people, exactly what I was doing before I joined you guys. I was seeking out rogue, evil mages and killing them for the academy. I'm just going to eat their souls while I'm doing it. I'm going to go back to being a bounty hunter. It's what I was doing before. Only this time I'm eating souls and sending some to hell, but I'm going to only seek out the vile people in this world. I'm going to fix things. I'm going to make things better at a cost of myself. And I'm okay with that.
Your friends gave a lot to help us. And a truthful explanation is the least we can offer them in return for what they have done for us. I hope that Sebastian has explained his intent to your satisfaction. But if you have problems with, or if you regret the choices that you have made, then Sebastian and I will do what must be done on our own without you.
I will never regret bringing you back. But as long as what we brought back is Sebastian, you don't need to be anything for anyone else other than yourself. I don't need you to be all-powerful to help bring back my dad. Pluto doesn't need you to be all-powerful and lose yourself to win the King's Moot. We can do that together. We would have done that together.
I died because a scientist outdid me. I'm wearing 8 rings. Actually, they still owe me 2, but yeah, I've made my 2 more appear. And I couldn't beat a hack of a fake magic user. I died because I wasn't powerful enough to help you two. I did what had to be done. I'm the same Sebastian. I'm still me. I know I've made some sacrifices, and I know those are hard to understand, but I did it for you guys, and I did it to fix my mistakes. And I'm not going to hold the guilt over what I've done. Theodore Marshall told me, let go of the guilt, let go of your past, let go of all of that. And I'm taking that to my non-beating heart. Mm-hmm. And I'm determined. Yeah, I'm not quite the same as I was when I went away because I got nothing holding me back anymore. I'm going to do what needs to be done, and I'm going to do it for Caspia, for Drakkenheim, for everybody, for all of the people I love. I'm powerful enough now. I won't die on you guys again. I won't leave you to have to go dragon hunting on my behalf, throwing all of our plans aside. It won't happen again, and I'm sorry that it happened the first time, and I'm sorry that I wasn't good enough. But it's okay now.
Pluto, what do you think?
Oh. It's gonna take some adjusting. It's gonna take... Yeah, I think we're gonna have to accommodate your new lifestyle choices.
It's just a new diet.
It's just... We're all affected by it.
Yeah, well, you tried keto for like a week, okay? And that was tough on all of us. So, like,
Yeah, I can't do it.
Ignatius
There's a lot.
says in your mind, Pluto, should he devour one righteous spirit, deny the sacred flame its light and fuel, we will cut him down where he stands and then go for his mother. You must be the sentinel, the one who watches over this caged monster, lest he become an even greater threat. If you will not cut down your friend now, that is fine.
I gotta
But
be
make
honest.
no mistake, he is a monster now.
Ignatius thinks that you're the bad guy.
okay.
Like full stop, and I'm keeping him reined in. But I have to tell you that we gotta vet these souls
Okay. Pluto.
because you're pushing some boundaries here, and you might become everything that you became to kill. You know what I mean? Like this is like one of those snakes that eats its tail sort of things or something. Like I'm seeing some weird like vision vibes, and I'm not very smart,
Pluto.
but I can.
You
tell
don't have to justify yourself to him. Mighty Caspian Knight, I assure you that you think yourself very powerful with that gleaming blade in your hand.
Yep.
But I promise you this. Should you raise that sword against me or my son, it will be the last thing you ever do.
Bob, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. He's my best friend. He's not gonna hurt me.
I don't mean any disrespect, Mrs. Eventide. It's just a lot to take in, and I think we all just need to have a nice campfire, and maybe we just kind of relax and just, I've taken in a lot of changes.
Is it the eyes? Or is it the arm?
Sebastian
Like this before.
There's like a whole vibe.
is not the only one who has made this kind of choice. There are many enemies, but there are allies and friends. It is now my intention to return to the Academy Directorate and reclaim my rightful place upon it. And from there, we will plan our next steps. There are a few others amongst the Directorate who will be sympathetic to both your new condition and our situation. I suggest, rather than fixating on what has been done and cannot be undone now, that we more prudently decide our next steps. And, to reiterate, if there is anything within my power that I can offer you, Veo or Pluto, for the great deed that you have done in helping me and my son, please, you deserve your just reward.
I didn't do it for rewards.
And that is why
I didn't
you
do
are
it.
all the more deserving of one.
I need a non-judgmental sword, I think, is what I really, truly need. Oh my gosh, this is tearing me apart.
No, Pluto.
If you wish to replace the blade with another, that is certainly something that I can assist you with.
No, I think this is fine. When I look at you two, I see light and I see dark. You two will keep each other in check and be the balance.
Keep me in check, bro.
Keep me in check, bruh.
And I will keep both of you in check. I will be here to... We will be here to help make sure you maintain your humanity. To tie it to us. We can be your conscience. We can make sure that you don't go too far.
Veo, you've always been my conscience.
Very good. Very good.
But yeah, like I don't know what do we want? Do we need something?
I mean, you can get a sweet soul rending arm.
Oh no.
You know what? Like,
Look at it.
we're right. There's always going to be something we want, but we're together now, and we're going to do things. We don't need you, Miss, Ma'am, Eventide, to fix things for us because we're going to do it together.
We'll sleep on it.
Wait. Mom,
That's gotta feel
what's
good.
Dad gonna say?
Oh,
That's complicated. Oh no. That's confusing for old Daddy.
what's Mr. Carrot Top going to do?
I understand that he has moved on in his life, and that is fine. Perhaps I will come and visit him when I'm ready.
You're cool if I go visit him, yeah?
Of course.
Guys, I really want to see my
She should probably
family.
wear some gloves or something so he doesn't get too overwhelmed by...
Yeah, we didn't
That-
tell
Wait.
him. We didn't tell him anything.
We didn't tell him anything.
Can I change my form?
Yeah, if you want to go more low-key, Sebastian, you can.
I'm like, guys, wait. And I like focus in for a second and I actually go back to like brown coat Sebastian. And
That
I
actually feels a lot more comforting.
Yeah, why didn't we do
feel
this
so
earlier?
much more comfortable now. If you had told us all of that awful soul-rending stuff,
Wait.
in this form,
okay.
Would've
I'd be
taken it
way, yeah, it's way
Oh, is
easier to
that it? You miss. Oh, I'm Sebastian Crow. I don't care about anybody but myself. Like, is that what you want?
That's so much more convincing that we brought back you and not
Wine,
us.
drink. Oh, Pluto fell in a hole. Ha ha ha. What an idiot.
Wonderful to see you all having a lovely time. I have
I turn back.
my own affairs to settle.
Okay.
We will see each other occasionally.
I hope so.
Well, if you are destroyed, I'll see you.
You can count on it, because I'm going to be doing a bunch of dangerous stuff.
That is certainly an advantage to consider in your plans. Be aware that there may be some strategies that can countermand it, and if you are destroyed, it does mean that we are vulnerable. Once the Academy and once our enemies amongst the Directorate learn of this, they may decide to take actions into their own into their own hands. But if one or both of us are destroyed, we will know immediately. If anything should happen to me, you must hide.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll know. I'll like
Yes,
feel it.
you will know.
Yeah. Okay. You know who the Directorate is?
Yes, I know them all.
Can we get a list? Can we get a...
Yeah.
That might come in handy because I have a feeling. We haven't really talked much about this, but I've had this feeling for a while that there's gonna need to be some reorganizing if we want things to go the way we want them to.
All part of the plan, my dear.
Good.
Your mom has a really nice...
Thank you. I kind of get mine from her.
There is one amongst the Directorate that we can trust, for certain. But the others we will dispose of in time.
He's not here right now, so I think it's cool to say this. Is Rath's dad on the naughty list or the nice list? Because I get the impression I hate him. I don't like him at all, and I wouldn't mind eating his soul.
Isn't he making robots or something?
He might be trying to kill,
Yes.
or like
I think
selling,
he tried to kill Wilhelm.
maybe, and
Or
also
sold
like
something to kill Wilhelm. I think we put it together that he was after Wilhelm.
He's
He's also
also,
just
like, he's
really
working-
mean to Wrath.
Yes.
yeah.
Alabaster, Penumbra, and their children should be our first targets.
Not their children.
Oh, certainly their children.
No. Wrath and River are not like their parents. You haven't even met them. Mom.
Yeah, we did get some help from
River's
like pretty.
River's been one of my best friends since I was a
River's
kid.
like pretty useful.
And Wrath he's
there.
Loopy, but I think there's potential.
Yeah, he's helped a lot.
Yeah.
Indeed, they're the perfect vector by which we can attack Alabaster and Penumbra.
We're gonna work on that strategy because Wrath and River are actually both part of the crew. They're like their goals are aligned with us. We need allies. We don't want less allies. We want more.
They're on our side.
They're on our side.
I hope, for their sake, that turns out to be the case.
Yeah, well, I mean, what are we worried about? Summoning giant cats into the world or something? Because that's not happening.
Very well. We'll see you soon.
It was lovely spending time with you.
It was. She turns to embrace you, and as she steps away,
I come around and hug both of you.
Okay.
I try to stifle Ignatius back into his sheath.
And with that, she turns into a dragon and flies away.
Oh, man.
Wow, she's cool, eh?
That's one word for it.
Oh, man.
I gotta be honest, I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
We didn't know we were gonna bring back you and your mom.
Yeah, that's what I stayed behind to do. Took a bit of effort.
I realized I could have asked her so many
a
embarrassing
perfect
things
mini
about
for
you
it,
as
too.
a
Yeah,
kid.
that's like, frightening.
So many stories we could have.
I mean, she wouldn't know any embarrassing stories about me. She died in childbirth.
Yeah, but wasn't she like watching you from the beyond or?
Oh, maybe.
Ooh.
I mean, you can always ask my dad about embarrassing stories.
Oh my gosh.
Or like Aldrich. Aldrich probably has the most.
What's your next move?
Should we
Now
go?
that we've brought Sebastian back, Dragon Force is reunited.
Woo!
And you all level up to level 16.
And I
Uh-oh.
have 2 levels now in Warlock.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have a patron. I cut a deal with a fiend. I am a Pact of the Fiend Warlock.
I'm just gonna
Not surprising at all.
have to.
Hey Pluto, check this out. And I shoot like this eldritch beam of octarine power at like a nearby rock, and I'm like, kapow!
So, you've decided to retrain a level, which
Yeah.
cuts off your 8th level spell slot for now.
Right.
But you got 2 levels of Warlock,
Yeah.
Fiend Pact, a Fiend Patron, and what did you take?
For my invocations, I mean, I went classic. I got my Agonizing Blast and my Repelling Blast.
Okay.
I want to knock people around. Wrath and Sebastian together now can knock all of the bad guys off
This
cliffs.
is the knockabouts.
Yeah.
Vea, what about you for level 16?
So I took another level in Rogue. So I get, is it Reliable Talent? Reliable Talent.
so
And
good.
I think I get another spell, which I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do with that.
Ooh, okay.
So with my Arcane Trickster.
All right. Because, yeah, you're now an Ranger 5, Rogue 11.
Rogue 11.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that reliable talent is
It's
something else.
It's going to be great. I
Yeah.
just read it and I'm like, oh yes.
Wilhelm.
that.
Wilhelm. I feel so good as Wilhelm every time I have to make like a stealth roll or a persuasion roll. It's so good.
Oh yeah. I'm like, what's my minimum stealth, I guess, at this point? Plus 15, plus
25.
a 10? Wow.
So, yeah.
I can't roll lower than a 25 stealth.
We need Wilhelm and Veo to go on like a mission, just the 2 of them.
Can you imagine if I pass without trace plus?
35 stealth with pass without trace. Okay,
I
we need,
essentially don't
You're
exist at that
standing in
point.
front of them, and they're like looking.
I'm
past
just throwing it out there. We need a heist with Veo and Wilhelm together. We just need
Yeah.
like an infiltration mission of some
Yes.
sort.
What about Pluto?
Pluto gets either ability score increase or a feat, and now I have to, and some kind of boon from. I'm gonna try to hide the fact that I'm wearing her cape right now. And be like, I don't currently have some of your clothing on. You can give me stuff. I have to review the options, but I'm likely gonna take. I'm a sucker for feats.
Yeah.
And
Are your like primary stats maxed out?
no, actually, which maybe I should be.
But if you can find a feat with a plus.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
get
find a few with a
something.
plus.
Maybe I need to increase my charisma so I can better save against. Because I have a feeling I'm going to be making lots of them.
What's the one that Rudy took for? She got a plus to wisdom.
Resilient.
Resilient.
Yeah.
Good one.
Jeez.
A solid one.
I feel like
Did you take Resilient for Wisdom already, though? I think
I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes it a little bit tricky to make the choice there.
But I love the idea that the sword of truth that tries to kill like demons, it has to stand beside like
A demon
elven
bound,
lich.
a demon bound soul eating. Like I'm in a pact with a demon. I eat souls.
Just wait till I have to make Ignatius kill something else that's attacking you. Like there's so much conflict that's gonna happen
I
as
know.
I protect you
You know,
against.
okay, for all the things that I accounted for when I was making these choices in the Shadowlands, the one thing I didn't was Ignatius. and what this would mean for poor old Iggy.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know
That's his
why-
name now. I'm calling him Iggy.
Oh, poor Iggy.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so you've already got Sentinel, you've already got Fighting Initiative, you've already got Lucky, you've already got Resilient Wisdom, you've already got Shield Master. So you could probably go for, it might very well be that just the boost to Con
Yeah.
is one of the best things that you can grab. Well, with our characters leveled up, Sebastian brought back into play, where will Drakkenforce be heading off to next?
I want to eat Everett Freed. Where's he at?
In the forest. We should probably go back to the forest, no?
Yeah, we left our companions to scour the den of Trothesia, and they may need some help clearing out.
Do you have anything from the forest? Leaves, bark, berries.
Oh, we have this.
He has some
we have this
tea.
leftover tea.
Can we just grab a leaf out of there?
Just grab some of the bottom of the bag.
Yeah.
Is he done? Mr. Druid, sir, are you done your tea?
Jorgen Shadow Weaver.
Yogain Ghostweaver. It's like, this is my tea.
No, I just
we
need
just
like
have-
a leaf. Like, are you done with like the leaves? Like,
Sure.
I take one of the wet tea leaves.
You can re-steep the rest.
I'm like, I could get us right back to where this came from.
I mean, that would work.
All right.
Oh, I missed you being able to. Can you do it less painfully now that you're all magical, stronger and stuff?
I have always done it perfectly, and I will continue to do so. And I hold up the leaf, and I'm going to start to cast teleport to get us back.
And that's where we'll end tonight. A big thank you, as always, to our incredible cast, Jill, Kelly, and Joe, for playing.
And a huge thank you to Kyle, who is not here today. Happy anniversary, Kyle. And a huge thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Martin, bringing Sebastian back and doing it in style.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, exciting.
That was incredible. And a big thank you to our supporters of the show. They've produced some incredible assets, and they're talented artists, and they give us permission to use them in our tabletop games. And we encourage you to go out and support some of these amazing creators: Dwarven Forge, miniatures by Hero Forge, and WizKids. That wonderful dragon. Who's that by?
This is WizKids.
WizKids.
Yeah, they gave this one to us. Yeah.
Such a cool dragon. We have some wonderful music by Tabletop Audio and player character artwork by Elizabeth Pearl.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes shirts, including Troll Killer. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Our videos and live streams are made possible because of our amazing Patreon community. If you enjoy the work that we do here on YouTube, please consider becoming a patron of the show by following the links right down below.
We also have a phenomenal Discord community exclusive for our patrons. So if you are joining us on Patreon, make sure to hop on our Discord where you can chat with all of us about anything that you would like, including joining in on writers' rooms, Q&As, and also just a lot of awesome discussions about what's going on in Drakkenheim and how your D&D games are going.
Be sure to check out all of our great content over on YouTube as well. Kelly and I have new videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. With that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Drakkenheim.